This has to be one of my favorite episodes. We interviewed Erin Hefter, who is the co-founder of IMARAIS or IMARAIS Beauty. It is a supplement line that we are carrying at BSC, and it was honestly such a great conversation. Like, I'm so into supplements. I love learning about it all. I love taking things that are good for my hair, my nails, my skin, my cycle. I love it so much. So today's episode was so fun because I learned how amazing this brand really is. Like, it's made in Canada, ingredients sourced in Canada, packaging Canadian. Like, especially now, it's just was so refreshing and so nice to speak to somebody who understands formulas and what the industry needs and really providing top quality products to consumers. It's epic. And I even tried two samples, as you can see here, and I loved it. And you're supposed to have two of each, right? Four of each. So that just goes to show that it was delicious.
Yeah, you got to be careful not to use them as just like your general snacks, because if
Yeah,
I go and buy a thing of gummies or
I'm
gummy
eating it.
bears, or something, I'm going to finish the whole pack, right? Right,
That's it.
right, all in one sitting. So it's not something you want to do with these. You really have to take them properly. There's so many reasons that I love this brand. It's just something that I think is they really touched and hit a need in the Canadian market or even in the international market. I don't think I've ever come across a brand that has gummies that are really so specific to different needs and concerns that people have. So I think that they really just they got it. They got it, and their approach to market is very interesting. They taste good. They're natural. Like, there's so many reasons. And the one thing that I really love is that they have NPN numbers. So that means that Health Canada has issued natural product numbers, which is the alternative to a DIN when it's natural. So a DIN is a drug identification number. So all medication that you take has a DIN because drugs are usually not natural. This one has an NPN. So for me, that tells me that it's really not a drug, but it's a natural product that really has efficacy.
And
And I
it's been
think that
approved as well, like
it's
improved
true. Like, yeah,
ingredients, like all of that.
they've got the clinicals behind it. So I think when we look at our overall well-being and health, when it comes to all areas of our body and life, you've got your external forces and you've got your internal forces. So these gummies, what they really do, in my opinion, or what I've understood through the conversation that we had with Aaron, is really they support from the inside. And yeah, I just think it's awesome. And I just love the fact that it's Canadian. I mean, right now we need to be supporting Canadian brands and doing as much for Canada as possible. So there's even more love that I have for it just because of that. So welcome to the podcast, Aaron.
I'm speaking on my behalf, obviously, but Beata, I know you're so excited to be interviewing you today, Erin. Welcome to the podcast, specifically about IMARAIS Beauty, because it is a supplement brand that we carry on BSC, on Boutique Skin Envie. But before we get into the whole supplement industry and how you created the brand, we want to know a little bit more about you. And of course, our listeners would like to. So why don't you just give us a little bit of a history lesson on your life and how you ended up in this industry?
Awesome. And yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity. Very excited for this one. So, my name's Aaron Hefter. I am the CEO and founder of IMARAIS Beauty. We're a Canadian plant-based ingestible beauty brand. I'm actually a second-time wellness founder. So, I spent 20 years in the supplement space as a founder, CEO, and formulator for a global sport nutrition brand called Nutribolics. And about 5 years ago, I saw what was happening with wellness starting to really transcend into beauty, and it captured my attention as both a founder and also as a formulator. At that time, about 5 years ago, there the wellness brands coming into the beauty space, I didn't think they really belonged. They were very amateur looking. They were full of artificial colors and dyes with generic animal-based commodity type formulations, and they lacked really any sort of like clinicality. And I saw this white space opportunity to create a new concept of an ultra clean, green, and clinical plant-based ingestible beauty brand, and one that could also live in the world of beauty retail.
I love
Oh,
it.
love that. I love
Yeah,
that.
I feel like supplements are, especially beauty supplements, like whether it's for your hair, your nails, your skin, your whatever it
Gut
is, I
health.
think it's so like trending right? It is trending, but I think sometimes when it trends, it leads to maybe overconsumption of things. But I really think that it's such an interesting industry, and I'm so interested in supplements and everything about it, because I think that we need it in our life to kind of boost certain areas. That
I feel like you have a big supplement cupboard at home.
Yeah, I do. I really like I definitely am in the hair taking supplements. Like I'm doing all of that stuff because I really just want to I got my hair bleached off basically a year ago, so I'm in like the rebuilding phase of my trying to get my hair nice and healthy again. But yeah, so I'm definitely
We have the
I
perfect
know.
supplement,
But
right?
I was also looking like you also have not just for the hair and the nails, you also have like sexual wellness, which I
Yep.
kind of want to get into too. And I believe it was also one like hormonal, like sort of for mood
Yep.
swings and things like that. So my first question about this is, can you take like all supplements at the same time, like all of your supplements, like, or is it something that you kind of have to ch pick and choose what's good for you?
Yeah, no, great question. And yeah, the beauty of the brand is all products are stackable. You know, they all work well together. A lot of them work, you know, well in combination, you know, whether that's for acne and inflammation, you know, and you mix that with our hydration product or, you know, hair growth and scalp care, or collagen boosting. You know, there's a lot of benefits, a lot of problem solution type products, and they all work well together.
Yeah,
So how
okay.
many individual product SKUs do you have?
Yep. So we have seven SKUs to date. The range originally was focused on skin and hair. And again, that's everything from healthy aging and longevity to natural collagen boosting to hair growth and scalp care to, you know, anti-acne and anti-inflammation. But yeah, just recently, you know, we had our two most recent launches, which are in the women's wellness category. So that's female sexual wellness and female hormonal support, and we're planning on expanding on that this year.
I
I feel
love
like
that.
that's
It's
really
very
cool.
unique. Very
Yeah.
unique.
Yeah, it's not, you know, a lot of the ingestible brands in the space, they're skin and hair, you know, like they're just very, you know, generic.
One
Yeah.
dimensional almost, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, we see there's a lot of problems, you know, out there, and you know, we're trying to create these problem solution type products and really focus on ingredients that work, right? So it's a, you know, it's a diverse range. We have a super exciting launch coming up next, that I think will do tremendous at Boutique Skin Envie. I can't dive too much into it, but I will say it's a first of its kind. It's actually a lash and brow growth supplement.
Oh,
It's yeah,
that's
something.
very cool because the only thing
Yeah,
that exists on the market really is like serums that you
yeah,
apply, right, on your upper eyelid or on your
yeah,
brows. And that's all we know. So I will be very happy about that because I'm just
yeah,
like getting off lash extensions right now.
yeah, yeah,
My lashes are a disaster, like
yeah.
complete disaster. So, and I've been putting lash serum on.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to this launch.
It's a huge category.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, you know, a lot of the products in that mix there, there's some chemicals in them, right? You know,
Yeah.
so we're just trying to come out with a natural solution, that works, that's safe, efficacious, and of super high quality.
Uh-huh.
Going off of that, I'm interested, like for somebody who's, because I like listen to a lot of podcasts, so I kind of know that there's some really good brands out there for supplements, and then there's some that aren't, and it's always like, look out for this, look out for that. Like for
Yep.
somebody who's new into looking for supplements, like what are some things to avoid, and how do you know you're getting a really good brand that has like
Great.
good ingredients?
Great question. I mean, you know, the industry can be a little bit like the wild, wild west, right?
Okay.
Where you really don't know what you're getting. And you know, the beauty of being a Canadian company and a Canadian brand is, you know, we work closely with Health Canada, and we have some of the strictest regulations out of anywhere in the world for supplements. In the US, you can launch a product to market and freely sell it like that, you know, like it
Without any
just like
kind of regulation clinic.
without any,
Thing. Yeah.
yeah. So in Canada, all of our products are all Health Canada approved for safety, efficacy, and quality. And that process, it's you have to submit for it's called the natural product number. That process can take up to 9 months.
Mhm.
We've gone through that process. In that process, you have to show your ingredients, studies on your ingredients in combination, even your label claims and your marketing claims they vet. So
That's
and
so
after that, if if everything passes, then you get a Health Canada NPN. So all of our products are all Health Canada approved, which is something you should look for. The way you know if a product is Health Canada approved is on the packaging. It'll say your NPN number.
Yeah.
So even in Canada, some retailers they don't sell products that have an NPN, which isn't something you should be taking. So you should look for a Health Canada approved product. And you should really do your research on the brands that you're buying, right? So we're very proud that we published the first ever study on the benefits of ingestible skincare. We partnered up with the leading agency for cosmetic testing. They're called Princeton Consumer Research, and now we have a claim of plus 18% hydration on our skin supplement Glow, which no other brand can say, right? So it's doing your research. I think as a Canadian, buying Canadian made products for that reason and probably various others, and knowing and also and knowing the retailer that you're purchasing it from, right? I mean, it's now you can purchase supplements from really anywhere, right? So you should really, before you make that online purchase, like you should really do your research and see who you're purchasing it from and where the brand,
Yeah,
what the brand is.
you have to do due diligence, I find, because there's so much out there, right? And we really just want to believe in kind of miracles all the time.
Yeah,
I take
yeah,
this is going to fix this, and
yeah,
like gut health or whatever. Like I'm
yeah,
bloating, I'm this, I'm that, so I'm going to take something to stop the bloating. But at the same time, what's causing you to have the bloating is the question, right? So you
yeah.
really got to do a little bit more digging, and people are just tend to hop on stuff and don't really understand what they're doing. But I do know that, or what I've understood is that in the you know s- supplementation has come in a lot because our food sources are lacking more nutrients
Yeah,
than ever, right? So we're not getting the full benefit, and then it has to go through the GI tract, and then
yeah.
everything's a little bit compromised. So talk about how your products work in that regard, so that you can get the results that you're looking for, and how you should combine them with maybe other lifestyle habits to really make sure that you maximize.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a huge proponent on supplements, obviously, and I really think, if you have an issue with your skin or your scalp, like, there's ways to naturally change that without having to go, the drug route, right? So
Yeah,
I think
I
you can,
agree.
yeah, whether, changing up your diet, eating a more plant-based, organic type of diet, taking the right nutrients, the right supplements, and you mentioned it, like you're, taking care of your gut, right? Like, your the gut skin barrier, like that's a real thing, right? So, yeah, I mean, we've created these products to, a certain way. They're 100% plant-based. We're the first ingestible brand to be fully PETA certified, vegan and cruelty-free. And we're taking these, superfood ingredients that you've heard of, and we're combining them specifically for these problem solution type products. Our products are all made in Canada, right? There's a lot of Canadian made brands, but we wanted to take traceability up a step and take quality up a step. And all of our active ingredients, they're all now North American sourced too. So they've always been. So a lot of raw materials in the supplement space, they come from two places, and it's not Canada and the U.S. They typically come from China and India. So we
Okay.
wanted to up our quality, up our potency. Our marine algae in our Hero SKU Glow, comes from the Bay of Fundy, one of the seventh wonders of the world, right? So, yeah, it's a real farm to face or scalp type product, using superfood ingredients for maximum results.
So I have been using the SkinCeuticals PTOX for a couple of weeks now, and I have to say I'm obsessed. This product is a needle-free anti-wrinkle peptide serum that visibly reduces 9 types of expression lines and reveals glass skin radiance. It's a great product to start using when you're not quite ready for injections, or like me, it's the perfect complementary product to use in conjunction with my Botox sessions to maximize wrinkle correction. I even have a couple of friends who have been using the product and have noticed change in their skin texture and any deep wrinkles they may have. You have to try it. Trust me on this. If you want to try the product, go to bskinenvie.ca. That's BSKINENVIE.ca and use code SkinTalks to get 10% off your next order.
Okay, so when somebody starts to incorporate in some of your products into their daily, to talk about like how do they get taken and when,
Yeah.
a good time
How
of the
long can you
day?
see results? Like when do
Yeah.
the
And
results start
yeah,
kicking in?
exactly.
Yeah, great question. So I mean, all of our products are all in a gummy delivery system. And we chose gummies because I think pill fatigue is a real thing. People have taken too many pills and don't really want that. The convenience of a gummy compared to, let's say, a powder, for our demographic, nobody wants to make that shake, drink it, clean that shaker cup and do it again, right? So they're simple. They're convenient. They can be taken any time of the day. There's no, a lot of people that, given that it's a gummy, a lot of people, they take it midday for almost a satiety effect, right? A little
Yeah.
snack. And they work well together. So in terms of efficacy, our study that we published, that was a 60-day study, but I think that's probably on the upper limits. We get amazing feedback, amazing before and afters and testimonials from people who even after 2 weeks, they really start to see the effects. Our number one seller is the hair care product, for the category that we were talking about, and I think that's for various reasons, but postpartum hair loss, stress related hair loss. A lot of people these days are on Ozempic. There's hair loss resulting from that.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. So, it's a
Hair loss,
serious,
muscle loss. There's a lot of loss, I think, when you
yeah.
took that. Yeah.
Exactly, right. So like our product is tremendous, to see instant results, to limit hair shedding, sustained results for hair regrowth. I was just at a salon convention a few months ago and I had stylists coming up to me and they said they actually had to stop taking the product leading up to the convention because their roots were growing in too fast.
Oh,
Right. Like
I'm like,
I love
I
that for them.
I
right.
couldn't even make that up. I wouldn't even know how, so it was
Yeah.
like,
I
yeah.
need my hair to grow that fast. I'm like gonna like pop the whole bag as soon as we're done this.
Yeah, yeah.
So
That's
I have
great
to
to hear.
say, because when we brought it in, I got some products to try
Yeah,
from the partner here in Quebec, and
yeah.
uh, they're delicious.
Thank you.
They're delicious. Like I couldn't wait. I kept it in my office, and like you said before, in the midday where you're like, I need something sweet. I need something.
Right?
I went and took. I think it was like four a day, right? You could.
Okay.
Was it
Well,
four?
you can
You
take one. You should, recommend is 1 to 2, but you can
one?
take
Okay,
four.
maybe I
As,
only took.
as
Maybe
You
I
would
stacked them with a
overdo
little
it.
bit too. But you know,
I've
I
I've
always
I've
try
had
to.
I've had meetings with distributors and they're literally just eating the bag on the call, so it's like, yeah, I mean, it is a gummy. You don't, Health Canada says to take up to 6 a day, right? And I think six is an upper limit, but I've also had real world feedback from people who do take 6 a day and like their hair has regrown,
Oh,
like quickly, like it's, so yeah, you can take 1 to 2 as your starting point, up to 6 a day. But yeah, we're really proud of it. The gummy space specifically, it can be a little bit of a dirty space,
Yeah.
for two reasons. One is there's a lot of gummies actually that come in and, in products, and they actually come from overseas. So they're brought in bulk from China, and then they're brought to the US or Canada, and they're bottled here, and then these companies get away with saying, made in the US or made in Canada. So, well,
wow.
probably made in the US more than made in Canada, but for us, everything's made locally, made in Ontario. And we created this, I think, better for you gummy. So it's completely sugar free. There's no sugar in it. A lot of gummy vitamins, they're full of sugar. It's completely gelatin free. It's 100% plant based. It's carrageenan free. A lot of gummies have carrageenan, which can be a carcinogenic. And there's no artificial colors, there's no artificial dyes, and there's no artificial sweeteners. So yeah, it's ultra clean, and and I think it tastes great.
It does. It
Yeah,
really
I'm
does.
actually, what's so funny is I have samples in my office
Yeah.
of
There you go.
the hair care supplement and the skincare supplement, and I'm gonna just taste
There
test
you,
right now.
yeah, let's do it.
I'm
But
like
you've
out
tried
of
it before.
extra.
You've tried it before, haven't you?
I've
Tash
never.
hasn't. I have. I
Oh,
like
really?
I
Okay. So this
hogged it
is
for
like,
myself.
okay.
They smell really good.
Tashi and I have this thing where like one of us will get products and the other one will get products. And
Mhm.
Oh, so you
actually,
rotate? You rotate?
no, we
Mhm.
we kind of like have this competition. So
Oh,
we launched this product from SkinCeuticals that was called PTOX for a couple of months ago in November, and it's really like a topical Botox like effect.
yeah.
I need that product. She
Yeah,
doesn't
but I
need
had it.
that. And so she takes it home and she's like, I've got it. So I got the products from you
Yeah.
and I took it, but she actually needs the one for the hair. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
we do this like
it's a
one-upping each other.
competition, right?
Yeah, a
Okay.
little bit.
Well, we
All
got
friendly.
there's a care package coming for each of you after this,
Oh, I
Oh,
but
you're
can't
so
wait.
sweet. Thank you.
yeah. But
Oh,
the hair one, and you mentioned the hair. So the hair, like a lot of hair products in the supplement space, they use an ingredient called biotin, right?
yep.
Mhm.
The problem with biotin is a lot of users experience acne from biotin,
Oh,
number one.
interesting.
And number two is biotin doesn't just grow hair on your head, right? It can grow it on your face. It can grow it on your arms. It can grow it everywhere, right? So that's who wants that, right? So
Right.
we don't use biotin, and a lot of biotin is also animal source. We don't use biotin. Instead, we use organic certified functional mushrooms. So
Yeah, I saw
you've
that
got
here.
yeah, organic chaga and organic reishi. And the beauty of those is there's actual clinical studies on them that they increase circulation and blood circulation, but they increase it to your scalp. So that's where you're getting the benefits. And then we're also using another ingredient called tremella or snow mushroom, which is like a hyperhydrating humectant ingredient. And so anybody who's got scalp psoriasis, tremendous for that.
Oh, so
Yeah,
interesting.
I love that. You know, that's actually true that you said the biotin because I was using, I won't like name the companies, but a very reputable hair brand, I was using it. And I started to like always have these breakouts,
Yeah,
like
right?
on right like on my what do you call this, your temple?
Temple.
Yeah.
And I was like, remember, B, do you remember I always had
Of
like
course.
little breakouts
Yeah,
here,
yeah.
like just like even like little milia. And I was like, okay, let me try this other brand that's also really hot, really reputable. And so as soon as I switched, get like not even in 2 weeks, all of my acne is gone here.
Yeah.
Like
So is that
Yeah.
from
because the product contained biotin or because it was just like
yeah, it
not
was a
clean?
product for like hair, skin, and nails. So I'm assuming there was some
Yeah,
biotin in
for
it. And
sure.
like
Yeah.
um I guess it just doesn't really work. And then the new brand that I'm trying, like there was like a non-vegan version and then a vegan version. And I heard somebody say that the non-vegan version gave them acne. So I was like, let me try the vegan. So so far I'm okay. But these are also delicious. Like
I
Yeah.
know they're
like
delicious, right?
Well, you won't get breakouts on your temple, but you will get baby hairs. That I promise you.
I'm
So,
like I'm hoping like I'm like please I need my hair to grow back because it all fell off
Well, what
last year.
about people who, what about people that really have more severe or important hair loss issues? Like, will it
I'm
help to
I'm no joke. Yeah, yeah, we've had some amazing. I was in Cannes actually for there's a duty free expo, and our distributor, one of the associates there, she had gone through bariatric surgery, and one of the big negative side effects from that is you're losing hair like by the handful, right? Like daily, right?
Yeah.
And
Wow.
she was so happy. She showed me the pictures. Like literally, she was taking 6 a day, which is what we recommend for severe, and after about 10 days like completely fixed. So it's yeah, I mean it's it works.
And what
I
about,
love that.
sorry, I'm asking lots of questions, but as you're
Yeah.
speaking, I'm thinking about stuff. What about people that have alopecia, like certain areas on their scalp that bald?
Yeah, we haven't had I don't think we've had any user feedback on that, right? But it's on specifically, but yeah, it should definitely help.
Help. Okay.
So, yeah, yeah, and that's for the hair. I mean, for the skin, so Glow, which is our hero skincare product, it's great for hydration. We're the first ingestible brand to use olive squalene. I'm sure you're familiar with squalene from
Yep.
topical, but
Yeah.
we're using it in ingestible format, which is giving the hydration effects as per our clinical. It's also a great collagen boosting product. Marine algae, it's probably one of nature's best collagen boosting product ingredients for natural collagen production. But like we've had some tremendous feedback for eczema and psoriasis from this product. I have a son, he's 14, and he took the product 2 years ago. And before he had horrible eczema on his hands, right? And nothing would fix it. Nothing, no ingestible, no
Yeah.
topical, nothing. And he was taking our gummies, 6 a day. And after about 6 weeks, it was gone, and he was blown away, right? And so were we, right? So yeah, amazing.
I love that because for me, like whenever I look at health and wellness, and I'm sure you can speak on this as well, I always think it's really a 360-degree approach,
Yeah,
right? So if you're talking about your skin, going in and having
yeah.
facials, using good, clean products on your skin to target your concerns and everything
Mhm.
on your body also, but to be able to take something internally that's going to also support all the work that we're doing in every
Yeah,
other way of our life,
yeah,
it's really interesting. It's really interesting because, just like thinking about collagen and like hydration, just
yeah.
hydration on its own has such a, dehydrated skin, dehydrated bodies have really like the skin, it shows it, right? You can
Yeah,
really see it. So
yeah,
I think this is great because it really contributes to that, global 360-degree approach.
yeah.
When we're
And
talking,
that's
sorry, Heather,
yeah,
go ahead.
and that's exactly it. We're not it contributes, right? We're not saying stop taking your topicals. We're not
Yeah,
saying
no, of
replace it.
course.
We're saying this is supplementary. Let's do both. Let's attack it inside out.
I love that. I love that. Now I
Yeah.
want to talk about other things like, there's again, I'll go back to like a lot of people think, oh, I'll just take this pill or I'll
Yeah.
just do this gummy, whatever, and then I'm going to be fixed. But really it's a lifestyle approach,
It's
right?
a lifestyle. Yeah.
So what other kinds of lifestyle habits and tricks and tips that do you have that would be able to support the ingestible products that you guys are promoting and making?
You mean hacks?
Yeah, like maybe some fun hacks. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, it's like I think the lines are blurred and self-care is everything and wellness is transcending everything right now, right? So I just came back last week. We had a big event in LA for one of our big retail launches at Target, and it was a wellness themed activation. And it was, everything on it was, I'll call, a sort of biohacking, right? So we had everything from, red light therapy to sound therapy, meditation to ear seating to gua sha deep puff massages, so it's just, taking care of your body. And again, that doesn't mean just lathering on, a moisturizer or a serum, right? I mean, it's like it's mental, it's physical, and it's internal.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. So like nourishing your body in more ways than just
Yeah,
obviously nutrition, but also in giving yourself space, giving yourself
absolutely.
all of these like little extra things. Essentially, it's loving yourself, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I love that. I love that. So let's talk about some of the other ones. We talked about hair, we talked about skin. Let's get into some other the other ones and talk about them a little bit more.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, the skin and the hair were our first two SKUs. We followed that up with two additional SKUs. One is called Clarity, and that's in the anti-acne, anti-blemish, anti-inflammation. Um, and so that one uses ingredients. It's, that category. It's been dominated by, very chemical laden products, right? And that's typically a product category for a younger consumer, right? So we wanted to create something that was natural, plant-based, fruit and plant-based using superfood ingredients. So we're using ingredients like sea buckthorn and apple peel and broccoli extract, and it's stops excess sebum production, helps reduce skin inflammation, and is tremendous for correcting skin tone, right? So that's our anti-acne product. The anti-bloat category is a huge category in Canada and the U.S. and international. A lot of those products work on the gut skin axis. We wanted something that was a little bit more skincare focused and actually targeted like skin puffiness, facial puffiness, body puffiness. And so we created, again, a really unique formulation. We're using ingredients like English chamomile, wild hibiscus, and a high potency ginger. And it's a great product. This is probably our fastest acting product. It's a product that if you indulge after a meal, you take it, or you get off that plane, right, and you're feeling bloated, or
Oh,
puffy,
yeah.
and it works right away, for skin inflammation, swelling. It just helps, tighten up and cinch the skin. Um,
And what's the name? What's the name of that one?
that one's
Depuff.
called Depuff. That
Okay,
was, yeah,
perfect. So very, very straightforward.
Depuff, right? Yeah,
Love that.
exactly. And so, one of the fastest growing categories right now, and it seems like on everybody's discussion, is longevity, right? And
Right.
health and
That's why.
healthy aging. Healthy aging. Not really, like the anti-aging has been so big, but I think now people are looking, how can they healthy age, and really live.
Absolutely.
Live healthier and live longer. And so, we wanted to create, again, a plant and fruit based holistic approach, to really combat the root cause of aging, which I think is, oxidative stress and inflammation.
Information, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So this is called youth. And it's cherry flavored gummy, and it's using ingredients like it's a French red wine extract, pomegranate collagen, and an organic tart cherry. So yeah, really, we've had some amazing feedback on this product. We're super excited about that one. And then, yeah, the two women's wellness products, which are our most recent, Sutra, which is our sexual wellness product for females, and Restore, which is our female hormonal support SKU.
I am loving Jan Marini's Luminate Eye Gel. I've been using it for months and it's my favorite product for tackling dark circles, puffiness, and crepiness. It's packed with retinol power, but gentle enough for everyone. And if you're dealing with milia, its gentle formula hydrates without being too rich. You apply it under eyes only and never on the lids. And remember, as with most retinols, there's an acclimation period. So start slowly, like 2 to 3 nights per week, and then gradually increase to every night. I promise you won't be disappointed. If you want to try this product, go to bskinenvie.ca. That's BSKINENVIE.ca and use code SKINTALKS to get 10% off your first order.
Can you go into these sutra just a little bit more? Like how does it benefit women, and like, should they take it before any like
Yep.
sexual activities, or is something they should be taking every day?
Yeah, no, it can be done both ways, right? It can be a daily, right, for maintenance, but it is one of our faster acting ones too. So it is taken before. It's using ingredients like a watermelon extract, date palm, and cayenne pepper, and it boosts libido, increases arousal and desire. Reduces performance anxiety, also helps with vaginal dryness. So it's a 360 approach, and it's actually our fastest selling one in the U.S. right now.
And
Oh,
I'm
so cool.
sure, I'm sure I'm absolutely positive about that one, but I'm also very curious about the one
The
that
hormone,
the
yeah,
hormonal one, yeah, because
yeah,
I
and
was
this,
listening to something. I just have to, in parenthesis here, I was listening to a podcast the other day that was a gynecologist basically that was talking about the fact that she had switched from gynecology into specializing and helping women with menopause.
hmm
She said that in her 4 years studying, specifically, I guess, the gynecology component of her medical degree, she said that they spent like 2 or 3 days on menopause.
yeah,
And I couldn't believe it. For 50% of the population that are suffering from this, or not suffering, I shouldn't say it that way, because it's not suffering, it's just part of life, right?
yeah,
But there's secondary effects and all these things that happen to women during this time that nobody's really like studied or addressed along the way. And now it seems to be popping up. So I think the timing of this product is really beautiful because more and more people are talking about it and
yeah,
normalizing it, right? So this
oh
is something
yeah.
is part of life for every female.
Yeah, absolutely. And we
Yeah.
had a meeting with one of our big US retailers, and they said, in the wellness category, this is the fastest growing and the number one category right now. So yeah, I mean it's again, it's a category that we were looking at. We wanted to formulate something unique to the space. We're using ingredients like sea kelp, pumpkin extract, and red raspberry. And it's, designed to balance hormones, combat symptoms of PMS, and even help curb moody skin. So,
Okay.
again, yeah, 360 approach, just for better healthy aging overall.
So
That's
this one
amazing.
specifically is not necessarily linked to like menopause. It would maybe be the other one that you were talking about. This one's more like younger
PMS moods.
Correct. Yeah.
PMS moods and stuff. Okay, very
Yeah.
all right. I
Yeah.
misunderstood that. I thought that this one was more towards that. Well, now you know, like menopause products, you got to get on that, Aaron.
Yeah, it could be in the pipeline. It
I
could be in
think
the
it would be
pipeline.
great.
It could be in the pipeline. I'm not going to say much more than that.
Okay, I love that. I
I
love
think
that.
it is.
No,
I
but you
think
know
it
what
is.
I like so much that you're taking like you're zoning in on real things that are going on with people and
Mhm,
providing solutions to that. Now, somebody who gets on your program and chooses one of your gummies or
mhm.
a couple of them, generally speaking, when we talk about skin change, for example, in the skincare industry, or just generally overall feeling of wellness, it usually takes like, let's say 28 to 32 days to really see the change and
Yeah.
to feel the difference. Is it kind of the same thing with you that you have to give your body time
It,
to get
yeah.
used to
It
it?
it takes some time for your body to get acclimated, to the nutrients.
Uh-huh.
But I think, some people, they experience results in 1 to 2 weeks. Others it can take, a full month. Others it can take, that 60-day period. So it really does depend on your body and how you react to the product. But yeah, I mean, the hair one, I think is the one that I'm most proud of. Like, I knew it would work. I didn't realize it would work this well. And like, the professional beauty channel for us is our fastest growing channel in Canada. And this product is doing so tremendous in that channel. And the testimonials and the results and the real world feedback, and even just the life changing feedback. Your hair it's so personal, right? Like, it's so, like, to to see results like you're seeing, it means a lot.
Yeah,
Definitely.
absolutely. So fun. So
I
fun.
want
Well,
to know specifically because I see that you partnered up with a celebrity, right? Summer Rae, I
Yeah.
think her name is.
Yeah.
I want to know
who
how
Yeah.
that
who is this
experience.
celebrity?
Summer Rae.
Okay.
Um,
So yeah.
and so like how was that? Like how was building something with a celebrity, but also how is it being like how is it when you're a Canadian brand in an international market? Like what is that like? Is it tough? Is it easier because we're Canadian and we're cooler? And I'm just kidding, but
Yeah.
so
So like, with my other brand, I worked with many celebrity athletes over the years. And I knew, in launching this, that I wanted to partner up with someone authentic in the fitness space, someone who could, be front facing for the brand,
Yeah.
and someone who could really help us, generate buzz for the brand, and create some great media and PR. And so I knew of Summer from the fitness space. Summer is one of the original fitness influencers on Instagram. She has over 40 million followers, between Instagram and TikTok. And I reached out to her and her team at William Morris, and she loved the idea. I reached out literally, like, when it was just a concept, when it was just an idea, and I shared it with her. She's very authentic, which I love, and she's always taken this holistic approach to beauty and wellness. And so, we joined forces, and we partnered up, to launch the brand together at the end of 2021. It's not a pay for play, like a lot of brands do. Like, she's really an owner in the brand. She's a co-founder, and she's absolutely vested in the brand. And, it's her only brand deal. A lot of celebrities or influencers, they've got their hands in different things, and you don't know what they're really pushing from month to month or year to year. So, she's been tremendous to work with. She's based in California, where we also have a lot of our marketing team, and she's absolutely hands on, every week, whether that's, leading up our social media and our marketing, to going on international events. We we just did our event in LA. Before that, we just came back from Dubai. We just launched the brand at the Dubai Mall with one of the leading pharmacy chains over there. We did a big experiential activation that Summer hosted and headed up. And so, yeah, she's been tremendous. Really, when you're partnering up with someone of that stature, in the social media space, it makes for great media. It makes for great PR. It makes for great opportunities. But it's even better when you have someone who's authentic and really loves what they do.
And
Yeah.
also like believes, right? It's like
Yeah.
fully invested in using the product and loving the
Yeah.
product and seeing the results in it. Because I find sometimes when you get in, brands will go to celebrities just to bring awareness around the brand and
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
necessarily for the authenticity around, does it actually work, or is it just like, is it real? So that's nice that you've found somebody to work with that really
Yeah.
supports that.
Yeah, she was actually in She's also an international DJ, and so
Oh,
she was actually she was in Montreal. She was DJing for your F1
I
last
love
year.
that.
So we got to bring her back, and we got to do an event for IMARAIS in Quebec.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
That sounds great. That's
Yeah, that would
exciting.
be
Well,
amazing.
there are a bunch of people that I would love to get this product in their hands of that are suffering from things that you've addressed with your different
Yep.
formulations.
Yep.
I really love the fact that your brand is natural too, so it's safe to take and
Yep.
it's a gummy,
It's
it tastes good. Like there's so many good reasons to get into this and to try it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's that's what we wanted to create, using,
Mhm.
really all natural, plant-based, like the key ingredient in the industry right now is collagen, but it's
Yeah.
like I think if people knew how, bovine collagen was made, I think probably people wouldn't be taking bovine collagen.
Yeah.
So, we went an all natural route and we're proud of that.
Mhm.
And we're proud of the PETA certification. Like we're
Yeah, that's
fully
great
PETA
too.
certified, vegan and cruelty free. And the thing with PETA, as you probably know, is as a brand you can't go back in time. So anybody who's been using animal ingredients, been using collagen, they'll never get PETA certified. So we plan to be the leader in that category.
Mhm. And also just the fact that you have an NPN number, because my understanding is NPN number stands for natural product number.
Yeah.
But let's say, for example, if you're taking sunscreen, which we have at
Yeah.
BSE, a lot of it, you'll either have a DIN, which is a drug identification
Yeah.
number, or you have the NPN number, right? And it is very, very intense to get
Intense.
certification of either DIN or NPM when it
Yep.
comes to ingredients and everything. Just the fact that you have that, because I don't know a lot of supplements other than
No.
that you find in, like vitamin C's or whatever that have
Yep.
the NPN number. And it's quite an accomplishment, I think, to have that for you guys. So congratulations for that as well.
Yeah, it's
Thank you. Yeah, it
exciting.
takes it's an intense process. It takes 9 months, and it's not always the funnest
No,
process to go
definitely not
through.
fun.
But yeah, but it's what, I am thankful for it.
Yeah.
Because it does validate the product, and I think even in Canada, it keeps out a lot of questionable products and questionable brands, right? So we're actually the first ingestible brand in beauty retail to have an NPN, and in many instances, like in the professional channel, like probably with, Boutique Skin Envie, like we're probably the first ingestible that you carried, right? Like we're pioneering this new category of ingestible beauty or wellness in beauty retail, and we're super thrilled for that.
Yeah, we don't have anything else like this. I mean, we do have things like matcha and,
Yeah.
Yeah,
cacao
but
and
not
like
like
different things
gummies.
like that, but not specific like, the big thing right now also like with adaptogens, but you also have mushrooms in some of your
Yeah.
products, which is
Yeah.
it's interesting. It's very interesting. I can't wait to get off this podcast episode to be able to go into my warehouse and pick some up out of
Yeah,
the
I'm like, go. I already know what I'm gonna be picking. I'm definitely gonna be
yeah,
doing the hair.
There you go. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
No, they are all. Well, we'll send you out a care package of each of them.
Yeah, I
We
would
can't
love
wait to
that.
Thank
get.
you.
Yeah,
Love
Yeah,
that.
so exciting.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. And again, congratulations
Yeah.
on bringing such a fabulous brand to the market and being able to help people solve certain solutions combined with other lifestyle habits that are going to support overall wellness and well-being.
thank you. Yeah, and thank you for the opportunity. And your support of both the brand and the category. Right. It's an exciting time, I think, in beauty. And it's. I think beauty wellness is transcending beauty, and you're seeing a lot of exciting innovation come into the space, and we're just happy to play our role in that.
Absolutely.
much.
Thank you so much.
Great. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed the episode, please take a moment to rate, review, and follow us on social at Skin Talks Pod. We'll see you next week.